Oh my god, you guys. I am so happy. I just went and got my nails done. I have not gotten my nails done for so many years, you guys. Like, since 2022, maybe? Maybe even 2021. I literally have not got my nails done at a nail salon since, I think, just after everything opened from COVID. Yeah, just like a little bit after that. I know I was getting them done like a little bit in the summer. So that must have been like the summer of 2021 or something, I'm thinking. And the reason I stopped getting my nails done is because I had like the worst experiences. I was having the worst jobs done. Actually, one salon, this lady freaking yelled at me and I didn't even do anything. She was such a psycho. So what happened was, it was right after everything opened from COVID, right? So they had like the screens up, like the plastic plexiglass like screens. You know how so many businesses had that? Okay, so even though that had nothing to do with it, so I'll explain the story. I'm so bad explaining stuff. Okay, so there was a really young girl working on my nails. I swear to God, she must have been like 14 years old. Like, she was so young, maybe even younger, like 13. Like, I was actually shocked she was doing my nails. Maybe she was younger. She was so freaking young. And I remember thinking, like, I have a feeling this girl's like too young to be working. But it's a nail salon, and I kind of feel like they don't always like abide by the rules. I don't know. Anyway, the owner of that salon is a crazy lady, and she actually did my nails one day, and it was like the worst thing ever. And she made me bleed, and she dug her nail under, like at the end, like I always get shellac done. She dug her nail under, like to scrape out like the shellac that she messed up, globbing all over under my nail. Like, okay, look at my nails right now. This girl just did them. I just went with like a really simple color, and I just like my nails short. She did them to perfection. Like, it's not, see how perfect. They're not globby. This is shellac. They're not like globby. They look perfect. Absolutely perfect. You guys, sorry, I'm getting off track from my story. I would ask salons to like only put a few thin layers. Don't put like, because they would just glob it on. Do you guys know what I mean about the globby nails? Oh, okay. So I didn't even have to say a word to the girl today. Okay, so back to the story. So I was getting my nails done by this extremely young girl. She did not speak a word of English, not a word. And they have like a diagram of different nail shapes. So she's like, what nail shape would you like? So I said almond. And she did everything perfect. She already, oh no, this is what happened. Oh my God. Okay, I'm remembering it wrong. So actually, before the really young girl sat down, there was a girl that did my filing. She shaped my nails. So, and I already said almond, and she already filed them almond shape. So when the really young girl sat down to do like the application and stuff, she was like, what shape nails would you like? She like pointed, she's like, what shape? And I was like, almond, but I already had them shaped. And so she couldn't understand English. So I would, trust me, like, you guys, I'm always so polite to everybody. I never raise my voice. And I was just like, oh no, I already had them shaped, like trying to explain this to her. And she's just like, what shape you want? And I'm like, I already had them shaped. Like, I just didn't know how to say it. And so the crazy psycho owner heard me, she, from like across the room, and she got up and she's like, what do you want? And I was like, I just want, I'm like, she asked me what shape I want, but I already had them shaped. She's like, what shape you want? And she like started yelling at me. And I was like, I already had them shaped. Like, I don't need them filed. And then, so she went away, and then, so yeah, so I'm sitting there like, everything's totally fine. Everything's totally fine. And I literally said, like, I don't even know what I said. Like, this girl was doing a good job. Like, this young girl was actually doing a good job. And then, I don't even know what I said to you guys. Like, I might have said something like, when she did the applications, maybe I was like, that's enough. Like, I don't need another application, because maybe she was going to put another one. That's maybe what it was. Like, maybe she was going to put a third layer, and I was just like, oh, that's okay. Like, this looks good. I'll just have the clear coat. Like, trying to explain, like, I don't need more layers. And the owner got up from the other end of the salon again, because she couldn't hear me because I wasn't being loud. And she's like, what do you want? And she's like, what your problem? What you something? It was so psycho. It was so psycho, you guys. It was so insane. And I don't know if you're like me. I hate how I'm like this. But when I'm faced with like a crazy person, like an angry person or a hostile person, I shut down. I do the opposite of what I should do. Like, I should defend myself, like stand up for myself, but instead I turn into a clam. Like, I'm just like I was just like, and then she's like, I don't know, she came, this was like years ago, so it's really hard to remember the story, but she came over to me and she started like yelling at me. I don't know, it was so insane. It was so insane. Everyone in the salon was looking at me. I didn't do anything. It was insane. And so I used to go to that salon all the time, actually. And I went to see a specific girl who unfortunately wasn't there anymore. And that's like why I had the one girl filing my nails and then that really young girl doing my nails. So I didn't have my normal girl. She wasn't there anymore. And it was just the psycho boss lady. And anyway, oh, and by the way, the salon was freaking disgusting, you guys. The only reason I went is because where I live, it is so hard to find good nail techs, I feel like. And they did like a decent enough job. The girl I used to see, she would always listen to me. She would do it thin. She wouldn't glob it on. Like, I could tell her how I like it and she would do it how I liked it. And she was really nice. And so I would go to see her and I would just try my best to ignore that the salon was gross. And there would be like, they'd have like their Starbucks garbage and like they would just put all this garbage, like they'd open the drawer and like her garbage would be in there. And I was just like, it was frightening. Honestly, the sanitary conditions were frightening, but at the same time, my girl was good and I didn't know where else to go. I had tried other places. I was never happy. So I'd go there just for the girl. And then so when she quit and then I had that horrible experience, I was like, fuck that place. Like, I'm telling you guys, if you encountered what I encountered, this lady was so psycho. So I left them a bad review because she deserved it. Like, she was the owner of the salon. And like I told you before, when I had my nails done by her one day, I think it was the very first time, or was it the second time, my girl wasn't available or something and I had my nails done by her. She literally made me bleed by scraping her own nail under my nail. Like, how disgusting. And you're the salon owner and like you should know this stuff. Anyways, this lady deserves a bad review. I don't care if her business went down. She deserved it. So I left this review and then she rebukes. Is that a word? She messaged, like, responded to my review and she said, this lady wasn't speaking loud enough, so I asked her to speak up. We couldn't hear you because of the dividers. And I'm thinking, that is not true. That is not true at all. At all what happened. The girl could hear me. She just could not speak English at all. And whenever I would talk, no matter what, how quiet I was, how gentle I was speaking, how nice, anything, not that the lady could hear what I was saying, she would just get up and start screaming at me. She was like an insane woman. Anyways, so I left that review and that's what she said. She's like, oh, it's because of the dividers. Like, what? Anyway, since then, I have heard of her yelling at other customers. She's a complete psycho. Like I said, before COVID, she did that like under the nail thing. So even before COVID, she had issues. And she was like, I could tell this lady was like crazy. But I think what happened, and I mean, unfortunate, but maybe not unfortunate to her, I don't know, is I think COVID hit her hard. And so she just was like going crazy and like filled with anger and hostility. But the last thing you should be doing is yelling at your customers, especially like a return customer. I used to go there for a few years in a row. I would always go there. She was just insane. She was like a crazy person. So that's my nail story, and that is the reason. And then actually, okay, so then I went to a nail salon after that to try a different place, and the lady was the absolute sweetest lady in the world. She was so sweet, and she just opened her salon, and I was like so excited to support her. But she did the worst job on my nails, and it was like, oh, like I felt so bad, and I don't know if she was hiring other people or what. It was just like really sad times because it was after COVID, and like, yeah, she did a really bad job. And so I didn't go back there. And then I was just like done with the whole nail scene. Like I was like, I don't feel like going to nail salons. I'm over it. Like, and I've also had bad experiences in the past with people making me bleed, just being like so rough with my nails that you sit there and you're actually on edge, right? And yeah, you just sit there and you watch, like I used to watch them because I was like so on edge, like I could not relax. Anyway, okay. Enough with the negativity of that story. Today was absolutely amazing. This girl who did my nails was like the nail girl of my dreams. She was so kind. She was gentle. She took her time. She was like thorough, making sure everything was perfect. I didn't have to say a word to her. She just did them so perfectly. Oh my god, it looks like they're like normal nail polish. Like they're not gobbed. They're just flawless, perfect nails. And I am so happy. And the salon is so clean. And this is what they do. They give you this. So when you come back, you have your own file that you use. So they're not like cross-contaminating. Best nail experience. I am so happy. I hope they never go out of business, you guys. Like, it was really quiet in there. And I noticed since Trump keeps threatening with the tariffs, I'm not even joking, just in the last few days, businesses have been so dead. I have been to 2 restaurants that is normally like insanely packed, and I go to these restaurants often because I live right by them. I go to them multiple times a week, and trust me, every day of the week, these businesses are packed. Like, lineups pretty much out the door. 2 times I went straight to the front of the line. Like, it's like people have just gone away. And then when I was in the salon, it's not that it's that early. My appointment was for 10. But there was only one. Why can't I talk? I'm talking too fast. There was only one other lady in there and me. So I'm just like, oh my god, like now that I found the most amazing place to go, I'm so happy. I do not want them to go out of business. They actually have been there quite a long time. They have really good reviews. And what solidified my choice in going there was I went to the pet food store the other day, and the girl had really nice nails. And I was like, have you ever been to the nail salon a few doors down? And she's like, yes, that's where I go. And then she told me who she sees. And I was like, okay, like, Danielle, you need to just trust everything's going to be okay and go and get your nails done. So I made the appointment. I just like went with my feeling of like, this is going to be good. And I was so happy. And I don't know what to tip. I always tip 20%. I pretty much tip 20% even if it's bad. Like, I just always tip 20%. And I was wondering, like, I hope 20% isn't too low. Should I have tipped her more? I don't know. I always think 20% is like the standard. Like, if you're happy, you tip 20%. If you're not happy, you're supposed to tip like 10%. Like, realistically, if you're not happy, you shouldn't be tipping. But in Canada, it's just like, I got cut off because I ran out of memory space. So I'll just make this really fast. I have 6 minutes. Yeah, so in Canada, I feel like it's like if you don't tip at all, like even if you had the worst experience, even when I got yelled at that day, I tipped because the young girl didn't do anything wrong. And I don't know where the tips go, but I was like, well, she deserves a tip still. Anyways, so yeah, even if it's like bad, you still tip. So I'm just like, it's 20% solid if you're happy, because like I just really like this girl, and I don't want like anything to go wrong. I don't want her to like be annoyed with me. I don't know, like I just want it to stay how it is. Like, I'm so happy. I know it's so silly, but you guys, like, I was traumatized from nail salons. I was literally traumatized from nail salons. I never mentioned it on my channel. But yeah, anyways, so like, I just got really simple nails done today, but like, literally, I am so over the moon about it. Okay, I will see you in my next video. Bye.